Hey guys, welcome to another speed build. I hope you are all having a wonderful day and happy Friday. Today we are over in Willow Creek and I am building a family home that is furnished for a couple expecting their very first child. And this is built on a 30 by 20 lot here in Willow Creek. And this lot probably looks pretty familiar to you. I tend to build here quite often, probably more than not, to be totally honest. I just absolutely love this lot. I love having that sidewalk on the side of the house, but also in the front. It is definitely a corner lot, and I love a good corner lot in The Sims and in real life. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're not all beautiful. There's some pretty bad corner lots out there, but for the most part, I do love a good corner lot though. And it is no different here in The Sims. So I just love having the sidewalk leading from the front of the house to the front door, but also having a pathway that's leading from the back door all the way over to the fence on the side of the house leading to that sidewalk right there on the side. And it just makes it feel so complete and unison and so functional and really good at the same time. And so I just can't help it. I just love to build here. So sorry guys, we're once again building here. But before I get into today's video, I would like to take a second to invite you guys to leave a like on this video if you do find it enjoyable, and also subscribe if you have not already. Also, feel free to comment down below whatever it is you would like to comment. I really love to read them. I love to interact with you guys down there. I may not do it right away. It might be in a day, it might be, 5 minutes later, it might be a week later, but I do try really hard to reply to each and every one of your comments. I just appreciate it so much. And like I said, I just love to interact with you guys down there and really get to know my audience that supports me. And so I just cannot thank you guys enough for all of the love and support that you show me on every single video. It really means the world to me. And so yeah, with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about the details of our build. I have a little bit of a storyline, but not too big of a one. So like I was saying, this is for a couple expecting their very first child. And I was imagining that this specific couple, they have been married for about 5 or 6 years. They are not super young, but they're not super old at the same time. They're definitely still in their childbearing years, but they started trying for a baby when they first got married and it just never happened for them. It just was super hard for them to get pregnant. They ended up having to go to a fertility clinic to be put on some medication to help her ovulate and have a regular cycle and just make it that much easier for them to be able to achieve their pregnancy goals. And they finally, not long after visiting the fertility clinic, they finally got that positive pregnancy test that they have been longing for, and they cannot be more excited. Now, since this couple has been married, they already have established careers, and so I didn't want to do a starter home for them. I figured having a house that's already pretty established makes a lot more sense in their case. And yeah, with that being said, it's not limited in funds at all. It ended up being just over 100,000 simoleons, which is, quite a lot, but they've been married for 5 or 6 years. They already have established careers. They have, good money. And so I figured let's just go all out and let's not worry about the simoleons. And this is not limited packs either. This is definitely just me building to my heart's content, doing whatever it is I want to do. And as you can tell, I could not help but put the pretty white fence in the front again, using the same debug fence I've used for a few builds now. I just can't help it. I just love it. I think it looks so good. It just is so pretty. I love how it's purely there for decoration and nothing more. It serves no purpose, and that is fine. Also, there's something that I have been wanting to try for quite some time now. You probably see that window in the front above the front door on the second story. I ended up putting two of the long, skinny cats and dogs windows right next to each other, kind of clipping into each other, and it creates a little bit of a clipping situation where you can kind of see um, some flickering, but not a whole lot. It's white, so you really have to be just staring at it in order to see it. And mainly from the inside, you really can't even see it from the outside. And then above it, I ended up putting one of those half circular windows also from cats and dogs. It's like the small one, and I wanted it to look like one big window. And then I put paneling on both sides of the two on the bottom. And I seen an inspiration photo where it looked like that, like on a real house. And I absolutely loved the way that it looked. I really wanted to mimic that here in The Sims, and I hope you guys like it. I think it looks pretty good. I mean, I think it's cute. It's different. I mean, there's that. It's definitely different. I think it looks pretty good though. I'm pretty happy with the way that it turned out. I probably won't do it all the time, but it's definitely fun and nice for a little bit of a change. And also these hedgerow bushes that I'm putting out, I literally thought these were specifically for a get together, but as I was going through debug when I was building this house, I actually came across that these are actually in base game too. There's base game versions. The super long ones that you see me using, those are not in base game, but the short ones, those are in base game. So that is so good to know because I love these hedgerow bushes, and I literally thought they were only in get together. So it's really good to know that they're in base game too, so that when I do my base game only builds, I can definitely start using those for those builds. So that's definitely exciting. And I finally planned on using this hot tub, the sunk down hot tub that reminds me of The Sims 2 so much, and I love it so much. I have been wanting to use it for quite some time. Ever since we got it, I've been wanting to use it, and I just haven't had a really good opportunity to do that. But the way that this build was laid out, I was actually able to fit it on the side of the pool like that, and I don't leave it sunk down, but I do have it on a platform shifted up. So it looks really nice. It has a little bit of a dimension and a little bit of an extra detail compared to the rest of the foundation where the pool is. And I think it just turns out super, super nice. And I also ended up doing a round pool for this house just because I wanted to be different. That is literally the only reason why. I do really love the round pools. I really love to make use of them if they look right. They don't always look right with some of the builds that I do, but this specific one, I think it does look pretty good with it. And the way that I have the back porch laid out pretty much stays the same. I know those two lounge chairs are kind of super close next to each other, and I usually like to add an end table in between lounge chairs, but I had literally no room to do that. I still wanted to at least add the lounge chairs so that they have something to relax on and maybe work on their tans or whatever it is they want to do. And that umbrella table ends up staying the same. I really wanted to use the one from Backyard Stuff, Perfect Patio, one of the two. I absolutely love that big one with the really fun swatches. They have different flowers, a lot of different colors, and I just love those umbrella tables so much, and they have matching chairs, and it's just so pretty. But it's such a small space right there. I literally had no room. I think I tried to place the other one down, but yeah, no room at all to do anything like that with. So I had to settle for the small base game one, which is better than nothing, I suppose. I'm now realizing that I totally forgot to add a grill. So if you download this and you want a grill, then you'll have to place it yourself, but that's fine. That's not a huge deal. At least, you can choose the place that you put it. And yeah, so I'm working on the floor plan now, and I have all of the bedrooms up here on the second story, and like I said, it ended up being 3 bedrooms, and then there is a bathroom on the second story, and there's a bathroom on the first story. And the second story bathroom is specifically only for the master bedroom, and the one downstairs I figured could be for the guests and whatever children they have in the near future. Like when the baby grows up and they can actually go to the bathroom, they'll probably use this one downstairs. So while we are faced in this area, I really love the way that I did the platforms leading to the dining room and then leading to the living room. I love the way that looks. I just cannot get enough of these platforms. My returning viewers, you guys know I absolutely adore the platforms and I use them as often as I can. And the way that this layout was formed, I just love it so much. The living room is kind of high. Don't worry, your sim can get in there. I did play test it because I had him light the fireplace that I ended up putting in there, and I put a TV above the fireplace. I do have to mention the TV is clipping ever so slightly into the ceiling. And I figured that's fine. Your sim will still be able to watch the TV, and like we don't sit there and watch the TV with them anyways, especially not when like all of the walls are up and you're at sim height and you can see the ceiling. Like you're never gonna see that. And so I figured it's not a huge deal. Plus, in the garage, I actually made it look like they renovated the garage. Like it's still a garage on the outside, as we can tell. But on the inside, they renovated it into an extra like movie slash game room. And so I ended up putting a huge flat screen TV with some shelves underneath the TV, and I put a game system and a bunch of different like knickknacks sort of stuff. And then I put a large sectional in front of it that is perfect just to lounge on and watch your favorite movie or play your favorite game. And then I put some other cute decorations. I put a coffee table and then a radio, and that's about it. I probably could have put some more gaming stuff in there, but it really wasn't going to fit very nicely. So I really like the way it came out though. If you do download this and you end up wanting to put some other gaming sort of stuff in there, I don't think the gaming square that your sim goes in, I don't think that will fit in there. So you might be able to rearrange it and fit that if you really want it, or maybe if you want like a game board, like that game board table, if you want to fit that in there, you might be able to remove the coffee table and move the sectional up just a little bit, and you might be able to fit the gaming board system in there, like the board game table. I don't know why that was so hard for me to say, but yeah, I do really like the way it came out. I almost thought to make it into a man cave, and then one of the other parents, they use the office upstairs for their work. Maybe the mom works from home sometimes, especially while she's pregnant, and she uses that office upstairs, and then dad wanted his own office, but I did away with that idea. I figured, no, I can make that into something they both can share, and it'll be perfect for when they do bring their children into this world and they grow up and they can actually watch TV and stuff. They're going to love that game room 100%. So technically, now that I'm thinking about it, this could be 4 bedrooms. You could totally renovate that game room and you could just delete everything that's in there and you could make that into an additional bedroom, whether it's the master or just an additional room for the kids, whatever it may be. You could totally do that. And so you could technically have 3 or 4 kids in this house. You could have 4 kids if you have them share a room, or 3 if they have their own room. So yeah, that is a good thing to note. And another thing I forgot to mention, I realized this as I was placing the rug outside the front door. They have a dog too. Yeah, so they do have a fur baby at least. They figured, hey, if we can't have our own biological child, let's just get a fur baby. So I am now working on the kitchen and we are about done with the kitchen. I ended up putting white tile in the kitchen, and so since the front door is here, in the kitchen, in the same room that the kitchen is, it ended up having white tile too. And I don't hate that, to be honest. I think it actually looks really good. And it just makes it sound like it's so easy to keep that front door area clean, since, you know, people constantly go in and out of the front door. It tends to get a little bit more sandy or dirtier over there. And so having tile there, tile is so easy to clean if you know how to clean it. And so it just sounds like it just makes it easier to clean. I don't know what else to say. And I almost put a computer desk right here, but I hated the way it looked. And I figured we have a spare bedroom upstairs. Let's put an office upstairs. Let's have an actual room for an office for itself. And so I ended up putting a bookcase here instead. And that trash can I do move, and I put the dog's food bowl there. And as far as the layout of the kitchen, I love this layout. It's so functional and so good. I love the island in the center. I love having that like fruit bowl tier, wall hanging tier thing right there above the island. I think it looks so good and looks like it's so easy just to go over there and grab some fruit. I also really love these counters from Parenthood. They're one of my favorites in the game, believe it or not. I know I don't use them as often as I used to. I used to use these so much, probably overuse them. But ever since the new base game counters came out, I just stopped using any other counters other than the base game ones. But I figured since this is a home for two parents expecting their first kid, and they tried for so long to have a baby, they're super family oriented. They're all about family. And once their kids come along, they're going to be all about their kids. So it kind of makes sense to use the counters from Parenthood. And I just love them at the same time. So, I mean, that's why I'm using them. I don't know why I felt the need to explain why I'm using these cabinets, but I did. And the upper cabinet that is long and it reaches the bottom cabinet, I really don't know what you call that, but I love the one from this set. I think it is so pretty, and I love how you can see the plates in that piece as well as the piece on the left side, like both of the end pieces, you can see the plates and the cups. I just love that little touch. I think it's so nice. And it creates a little bit of a cubby hole, and in the cubby hole I ended up putting a bread box and some of those canisters from Cottage Living. I love those canisters. They're so cute. I love the little cherries on them. Like, I want to get some in real life, to be totally honest. I think they're just so adorable. And as far as the appliances go, I did a fridge and a stove, obviously, and then I put a microwave. I figured the microwave would be perfect for when their kids do grow up into like a toddler and child. They can just microwave some nuggets for them and give it to them. You know, not every meal has to be super hard to make. Okay, I know nuggets and processed food is not the best, but hey, it's good for a pinch, and you cannot argue with me on that. So we got the dining room done as well, and that came together very quickly because it's such a small room, but I love how I have the dining table on a diagonal. It just made it fit so much better, and it made it look a little bit more detailed. I really liked it, and it's different than I normally do. I've done this once or twice before in a house, and I don't know, I just really enjoy it. It makes it easier for the Sims to walk around it, to be honest. I did not add a high chair. I probably should have done that. So when you do end up downloading this and your Sim has their baby, when they're newborns, they don't need it, but as soon as they turn into an infant, they are going to need it, for sure. That is like the best way to feed an infant. I'm glad that they made the high chairs more functional than they used to be, though. Like, when the toddlers were the only ones, like a newborn straight to a toddler, the toddlers can literally eat without a high chair. They can just grab a plate and go sit on the couch, which isn't very realistic, but at the same time, it does make it easier. You don't have to like stop what you're doing and go put the toddler in the high chair. But yeah, with that being said, I am glad that they made it to where the infants had to be in the high chair in order to like eat finger foods or eat baby food, or your Sim has to hold it and bottle feed it. So I do really like that touch. It makes it so much more realistic and finally makes the high chairs functional because they weren't really otherwise. And so yeah, we end up, oh, I guess I did the living room already too. I must have missed that. As I was talking about something else, I must have missed the living room, but it's pretty much self-explanatory. It's pretty simple. I mean, not much to really say about it. I did get the entertainment room done as well. I figured entertainment room's probably a good term for it. So you see, I put a sectional. I should have put some pillows on the sectional. I think it would have made the sectional look so much cuter, but whatever. You could always do that yourself if you want to. All you have to do is press Control 9 to shift it up, and then Control 0 if you need to shift it down. And I think it's like hit 9 4 times and it should be the exact height you need it. And then you can size it down or up using the bracket keys. So that's what I do, and then I just place it however I like it. That's really all there is to placing the pillows on couches and benches and stuff. I did the same thing on the bench in the front yard too. I think it's so cute. It adds such a good detail. But yeah, so you see, and I have a big flat screen TV in there. I have the little hallway end table right under the TV, and I placed a bunch of just random knickknacks in there. It looks a little cluttered. I don't really love to do that, to be honest, because of how cluttered it looks, but it kind of makes sense at the same time. I tried to add like cute stuff, but also stuff you would find in an entertainment room. I put like an open book. I put the game system in there, of course. I probably could have added like controllers and stuff, but hey, I didn't want to spend too much time on there. There's a lot of empty slots still, so you could totally fill it up yourself if you want to, or just leave it empty. I kind of like the way it looks when it's half empty. It looks like you're in process or in progress of adding stuff. And yeah, I kind of like it. So yeah, I mean, that's it for downstairs. There's really not much else to say. You've seen how I did the bathroom downstairs, and I finished the one upstairs too. I'm starting to get a hang of these bathrooms, guys. I'm really enjoying opening my horizons as far as the bathrooms go, and designing them better than just basic stuff. Sometimes I'll still do the basic, like shower, tub, sink, toilet, call it a day after that, but the way I did this master bathroom specifically, I think it looks so cute. I have the double sinks with the double mirrors above it, and then I have like the lights above the mirrors, and then I have the showers in a different part. So that part is actually technically where the chimney is, but I wanted to make use of that space, and so that is basically why I ended up putting the bathrooms where I put them, because downstairs I ended up putting the toilet in that space, but upstairs I put the shower. And well, I should say showers as a plural, because I've really been doing this a lot lately. I really love having a his and her shower in the master bathroom so that your Sims, they can take showers at the same time. They're a married couple, so I mean, why not? It just makes it look so realistic too, because a lot of the time, a lot of married couples, they take showers together. If they're trying to save time, or they both want to take a shower at the same time for whatever reason, they do that in real life, but it's not functional to be able to do that in The Sims unless, you know, you make them woohoo or something. But typically they cannot use the same shower head. So in order to get around that, I put them right next to each other. And it is completely functional. You're probably wondering like, hey, is that even able to be used with how close it is? And yeah, it is. So it's really nice. And I just think it's kind of cute too. Seeing them shower at the same time is kind of adorable. I really love it. And so yeah, I really love the way that the bathroom came out in this house. Both of them, but specifically the master. And then I've been putting the curtains in front of the little opening to make it look like a shower curtain. And this time around, I used the one from base game that is tied up. And so it looks like they tied up in order to walk in it easier. Usually your Sim just walks through it if it's like a straight down curtain like I usually put. And you know, it's fine. You just have to like pretend that they open it. But in this case, it's already open. And so I really enjoy it. I hope you guys too. Let me know how you guys feel about that. But I am currently working on the nursery, and I decided let's just use the storybook nursery kit. I know I use this nursery kit so much, but I think it is so adorable. I love it so much. And this specific nursery is definitely gender neutral. I think it could be perfect for a boy or a girl. It makes use of a lot of blues and yellows. And I love a blue and yellow together. I just think it is so adorable. And yeah, I could totally see both genders in here, which is exactly what I wanted. I mean, you don't really know what you're getting in The Sims. And so it's so useful to have nurseries as gender neutral as possible. And you've probably seen I ended up making the nursery for the infant. It has the crib, but then the newborn bassinet is actually in the parents' room. And I feel like that is so realistic. A lot of the time, at least from my experience, now keep in mind, I don't have kids, keep in mind, but we're trying. We're married now, and we just bought a house. It's perfect timing. And so yeah, as far as the research that I've done, and as far as the people that I've known in real life, a lot of the time with newborns, you have a bassinet instead of a crib. And typically they have the bassinet in the master bedroom or whatever room they sleep in, so that it's like close access to them when they're sleeping. That's what I plan on doing if I do end up getting pregnant. And so I really wanted to mimic that here. And I chose a white bassinet. I thought the white was just so adorable. And then that's pretty gender neutral as well. And so yeah, I just really enjoy that realistic touch of having the bassinet in the master bedroom and then having like the nursery set up ready to go for when the newborn baby grows up to an infant. And here in The Sims, that happens in like 2 days. And so it's better to have it set up for the infant because the infant will be around a lot longer and a lot faster than the newborn baby anyways. At first, I didn't know how I felt about that when the infants first came around, how the newborn baby was only like a newborn for like 2 days in The Sims, and then the infant was an infant for, what is it, like 6 or 7? 5 to 7 days. Let's just put an estimate out there. It's been a while. And so, yeah, I didn't know how I felt about that at first. I'm like, how realistic is that? I mean, how are they only a newborn baby for a couple days? But actually, the more I think about it, I feel like it is realistic because I'm pretty sure the infants are supposed to be like 6 months and on, maybe 6 months to 2 years, and or maybe 6 months to a year and a half, something like that. And so yeah, I mean, in real life, your newborn baby is only a newborn for such a short time. So it actually is realistic in my mind. I don't know. Maybe I'm just making this up, but that's how I feel anyways. I feel like it is pretty realistic the more that I think about it. So I do really enjoy the fact that the newborns are only newborns for a couple days. Plus, the newborns are still boring, okay? They're still tied down to the crib, which I get it. That's how the game was developed, and really, what else can you do besides like feed and change a newborn baby anyways? And let's be totally honest, if the newborn babies were tied down or not tied down to the crib, these Sims would be leaving the baby literally everywhere. It'd be next to the toilet. They do the same thing with the infant now, and it would be even worse with the newborn baby. It really reminds me of The Sims 2. That used to happen to me so much as a kid playing The Sims 2. My Sims would constantly be leaving their baby next to the toilet. And I'm like, why? Why the toilet though? But it was so cute. I loved the babies in The Sims 2. I thought they were so adorable. And you know what? The Sims 3 babies were super cute too. They were all like bundled up in that little blanket and stuff. They're like swaddled, and it's just so adorable. And I love how the girl has a pink one and then the boy has a blue one. Just so cute. And even though the newborns here in The Sims 4 are still kind of boring, the infants are done so well. I think they did such a good job on the infants. So I call that a win at the end of the day. Not everything has to be perfect, okay? I get why they left the newborn babies the way that they did. It really is realistic the more that I think about it. And it probably was easier for them to develop it that way anyways. But we are completely done furnishing the house, and I am finishing up the landscaping now. And of course, I'm using these really beautiful yellow flowers. Did you guys expect anything different? Probably not. And then I did put the trash can on the side of the house. I really like to do that. It's kind of out of the line of sight in the front, so it's not as big of an eyesore. And I think it's kind of realistic on the side of the house too. I mean, that's where I keep my trash can. Isn't that where everybody keeps their trash can? On the side of the house? And I ended up putting these long yellow hedgerow flowers on the other side of this fence, kind of behind the fence. So you can almost see it through the fence, but not quite. But you can see it on the other side, and I think it just gives a really good detail. This is the first time I've put some flowers or bushes on the other side of that white fence. So I really enjoyed it. I thought it looked really good. And I just wanted to put these really pretty yellow flowers absolutely everywhere because I think they're just so gorgeous and they liven up a build and they make it so cheerful. And I really like that. And I'm also using these ones from base game I tend to use all the time too. Well, those are from base game, but the regular bushes from base game from the debug catalog, yeah, I'm using those too. It's fine. These are like the best ones in the game. These are my favorite. I know I need to open up my horizons with the landscaping, but hey guys, once the landscaping gets here, I'm kind of like over the build that I'm doing and I'm like, let's just do the same thing. So yeah, I mean, that's not an excuse. And I do want to open my horizons, and I do sometimes, but sometimes, you know what? The same thing, the same old thing is sometimes better than nothing or trying something new, because sometimes something new doesn't always work out the way you want it to. And so yeah, now I'm just finishing up the terrain paint, and then after that I do add some lighting here and there, and that is pretty much the build. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Of course, if you did, please do not forget to leave a like and also subscribe if you have not already. And like I said earlier, leave your comments down below. I really love to read them and interact with them. And so yeah, I hope you all have an amazing weekend. Stay safe. It is dangerous out there, guys, so stay safe and have a great weekend. I'll see you all in the next build very soon. Bye guys.